Let's check it out.
That there's a following out there that's gonna chime in and it's gonna say things. Oh, and before I'm gonna land it, and then now I look at D1 as using religion. I'm gonna be the religion guy. You know what I'm saying? What D1 don't realize is that I don't know Bible verses, but Lord knows I'm a godly man. About it, and all they've been through is jail, destruction, guns, things. So you made an exception for them. All right. So now,
can y'all hear? Y'all still can't hear nothing? Y'all couldn't hear? Y'all can hear me, but y'all can't hear. Tell me if you can hear Benzino talk.
Now I see him dissing Jermaine Dupri, and I don't even know what it's for because I don't get into it. Well, I'm saying, how can you diss Jermaine Dupri? Jermaine Dupri is a producer. Do you understand? Without a producer, the artists don't eat. Well, I'm saying that's just what it is. They have a talent, but the producer's talent is the music and the arrangement to get the artists out there. 9 out of 10 times, the artists don't have it in them, but just to come and just do what they're told. And with their talent, which is a major thing. But I'm trying to say, do you know how much money Jermaine Dupri put in people's pockets from producing music that made them millionaires, which trickled down to their family? And it puts money into the community.
I think Benzino is wrong. I don't believe that D1 is trying to get a rap career. If you know anything about D1, I know that's my brother. D1 was offered a deal from Cash Money where they wanted to try to change D1 into, because he's a very talented rapper, very lyrical. The boy got flow. But they wanted to change his image into that of a street rapper and give him a big advance, which he turned down because he's looking at how destructive this music has been and how many black bodies are dropping in the street. You see what I'm saying? So it's a different day and age. And this ain't no knock to Benzino. I get it. Benzino, an old school cat, whatever, who came up in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, when all black men knelt to the altar of the streets and your black masculinity was defined on how much of a street nigga you were. So you even had guys that don't even want to be a part of it. But if you grew up in the hood, it's almost like a thing you got to claim a set and shit. It was exhausting. And really only brothers like me who really grew up in that shit have disdain for it, because I grew up on, and I'm not wearing that shit as no badge of honor, but I really grew up on the south side of Chicago, right? So I like the mentality when I'm talking, because I grew up in a house of love, of course, but to go out on the block and you just talk to some of these niggas, their mind was cooked. So a lot of them was taking advantage of people in the community. And you couldn't call nothing out back in the day because you would get ostracized about being a snitch. You ain't even no street nigga. They try to put a snitch jacket on you. You just a regular working Joe. And it was terrible, to the point where in the community, we would fucking hide the killers. We would cherish the killers and acknowledge them. But the game has changed due to technology. Now, your ass gonna go to jail. And don't nobody give a fuck. If you want to be a big old tough nigga, you're going to go to jail, right? And you're going to get sued. And people going to put shit on you. Because nobody has time for that shit. Nobody cares no more. It's over. They have gentrified the area. None of that shit has done anything to help the community. And that is the issue I have with Boosie. I know Boosie be talking shit or whatever, but this nigga, he kneels to the altar of the streets when he could be the person or the voice of reason to tell a lot of these young niggas to wake up, because it's a game you cannot win. It's a game that you're not going to win. It's a game where we enrich other groups, whether that be the U.S. penal system, so they have to build new prisons and employ people in these far out communities to lock your ass up, right? Or you giving all your money to the lawyer. All these rappers with all this shit, you losing all that money. You call the white boy to come save your black ass. And what's happening too, I would not be surprised If a lot of these attorneys y'all see, you can't tell me they don't have royalties or executive producer credits on these niggas' albums because they can't afford to pay the lawyer. But the lawyer gonna show up because he see what she got. Give me a piece. I'm gonna need that next album. And that's what happens. So it's a perpetual dumbass cycle over and over again. So we can't continue this narrative of straddling the fence. We have to shame this shit. And I speak on this often. A lot of this behavior in the community, a lot of that street shit has to be shamed. You gotta shame it. No difference from when we wear sneakers. You go to high school, your sneakers bogus. You're shamed. Don't nobody give a damn if your mama's on dope or y'all ain't got enough money. You gonna get your ass roasted. And guess what you do? You figure out how to get them sneakers. Because you gonna come back fresh. So that's just real. But let me put this back on
unity, and that's what Dee-1 has to realize. Hip-hop was from the streets, from the South Bronx, where it was really horrible conditions, and this is what's feeding us right now. And it's like they stopped doing crime.
Now let's stop there. Hip-hop started in the South Bronx. That is a fact. But when hip-hop started and Sugar Hill Gang came out, Sugar Hill Gang, I said a hip to the beat, and you know, to the rhythm and the better and the bang bang of boogity bee. This is not a beat I'm rapping to. Everybody was dancing. Sugar Hill Gang wasn't talking about shooting up the block. Hip hop got perverted. It was a big perversion in hip hop, and it started. Like with the rap of the street shit. It really started with Ice-T. And just my take on this is, you know, I'm the same age as hip hop. So I think the street shit started with Ice-T. And then when NWA hit, it took it to another level, man. Cause you know, was up, you know, I'm in the community. Reaganomics had us fucked up. Interest rates were through the roof. Everybody was selling crack. And it's just what it was. Right. But doing it pretty much out of necessity. But then as times progressed, right? As times progressed, where you got second generation rich kids for pop and this, that, whatever. And you see, you know, we got more black doctors, attorneys, black pharmacists, black billionaires, black entrepreneurs than we've ever had in any period of the history of time. But people were continuously stuck on the fact that, yeah, it's shoot 'em up, bang, bang time. It's just giving us a terrible program in our mind. And it's sad. You know what I mean? Because being poor or being deprived, that's no excuse for crime or to hurt your brother. You know what I mean?
To rap about it. Don't condemn them because they rapping about it. You watching movies every day that have gun. It's
what it, most of the niggas that's doing the rapping don't even live that shit. That's the whole issue. Most of the ones rapping are lying. They're lying. They're rapping the brother's story who has life in the penitentiary. They're lying. And most of them that are rapping, they get the money, some shit happen. What they do? Send their little man off. All these niggas got, if you a little man for a nigga, you are the worst. You need a father, nigga. If any man is sending you off to do his dirt, and you doing that shit, you are a fatherless child. You help because this is what they do. Now, if you super young, like in the Marlo Mike with Boosie, where Boosie had that young boy doing hits, and that boy is gonna spend the rest of his natural life in a jail cell, but he was doing the hits for Boosie. You see what I'm saying? And Boosie don't want to do the time. He want to pray to the street, but don't want to do the time. I don't understand that shit. You got to stand on your square. If you gonna live by that shit, talk that shit, walk it, nigga, you got to be happy with going to jail too. You can't have it both ways. You see what I'm saying? And if you grew up in that shit, and then too, what I noticed too, man, because I am a proud square. I can tell you that. I had a strong father and loving mother, and I come from love, and I'm a strong square, but I did grow up in the community. And if you really grow up in the community where there's bullets and shit flying, drive by, all this shit, robberies and crime, You want to get out of that shit. You don't want to be around it. You don't want to push the of it. It's because it's sad. It's terrible. It's a horrible thing. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, it's art. And this is the last thing. And then I see him bigging up 50 all the time. I see him say something about Jermaine saying, yeah, Jermaine, 50 told me about you or something. I'm like, this Mr. Holy Art Thou.
Jermaine Dupri was on the show bragging about blowing $10,000 a night in Magic City. Talking about this shit like that's some NBA highlight or he should wear a badge for that shit. No, my nigga, like, no. Off $10,000 in a strip club for what? For could have built a school, bought stock in Uber before it blew up, bought more land. Don't nobody got time for that shit. Like he was sitting up bragging about that shit.
He's putting two black men against each other, instigating it. He don't even know that. See, I could see through the young brother.
Do you feel like he's a fake preacher?
Absolutely. You see, but
he's not a fake preacher because he's not a preacher at all. He's just calling out the hypocrisy in hip hop.
But he's doing his intentions. Everybody, listen, one thing's for sure is nobody's supposed to be pushing religion on anybody, their type of religion, because there's a lot of different interpretations of what people's religions are and how they interpret things. So, you know, how he see things, even if in his way of worship is godly, and like he says, calling, well, everybody has their calling. So your calling isn't bigger than the next man. You're not God, homie. And just like how I see it, he's exposing how preachers do it in the church. Not all preachers, but some, is that they prey on the weak, because I look at his comments and I see it, and these people are lost. These people just want to be in the comment section, but they're not realizing what he's doing is damaging. You don't play with religion just to get your career off. And you know,
playing with religion when you talking about some shit that done got people, all the dead black bodies from hip hop. What are you talking about?
Can I speak?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, number one, I appreciate everything. Like, I always allow you to speak, but let me just say this, bro. You called him. Let me ask you a question. I know what I'm gonna ask you. You have
might be D1 trying to get up in here.
Yeah, that's not, bro. He just called it out, bro. You cannot say that this music, and you look, I get it. The music is giving, you know, some jobs or whatever, but like, you would like rap done gave niggas health care and education and like, no, bro. Hip hop to me right now is regressing the community. You know what I'm saying? So nah, shout out to D1 though.